Just as sunflowers chase the sun, inductees into the South Dakota Hall of Fame chase their dreams day after day, year after year. The 700-plus inductees in the Hall of Fame come from all backgrounds and corners of our state. What their stories have in common is their unwavering courage and belief in their dreams. These dream chasers are an inspiration for us all to strive for excellence and believe in our own potential to chase dreams well into the future.
Thomas Loveland was a member of the first career-long generation of explorers studying the condition and changes of Earth from the vantage of space. Joining a new field called geographic remote sensing, he spent over 40 years piecing together the contemporary land history of the planet, while contributing ideas and leadership to expand global Earth observation capabilities. Tom devoted his career to advancing remote sensing and served as an SDSU adjunct professor, teaching numerous remote sensing and geography courses for over 35 years. His most visible service, arguably with the most lasting impact, was his leadership in advancing the science and applications of the Landsat program.
Hello, I'm Miles Beacom with the South Dakota Hall of Fame, and today we have a South Dakota Hall of Fame inductee from the class of 2018, Tom Loveland. So Tom, could you start with just giving us kind of a history from your childhood growing up and how that really put you into the field that you're in?
Well, the field I'm in didn't exist when I was growing up. And so that's the first challenge I faced in getting to the point where I am now. I was going to high school in the late 60s, and that was a pretty adventurous time in the world. I was curious about everything, but not particularly focused on anything. Well, I was introduced to coursework in that through my geography studies at South Dakota State University, and that naturally led me into this field that was just opening its doors to people. So I'm one of the early members of it. I guess that makes me one of the early pioneers in a sense, but I have spent my entire career looking at images of the Earth and trying to understand how we can better manage our planet.
Today, students today think that they need to already have their life plan, but they don't, because they have to just kind of go with the flow and really find something that really has a passion for them, and that's exactly what you did.
Well, it really is the case. As we're growing up, we're introduced to ideas that are based on the people that we're surrounded by, and that's often a little more mainstream than the more exotic or esoteric pursuits that we may have. I found something brand new that met my interests, and it's been a wonderful place to be ever since.
When you had your first opportunity at AROS, that was while you were a student at South Dakota State?
Yes, it was.
And how did that come about?
That was one of the few times I showed initiative in my early years. The doors opened in 1973 to the facility that AROS has been in ever since. And I was in my junior year of college and driving back and forth on weekends to see my parents in Sioux Falls. And on one of my trips home, I deviated off Interstate 29 and went in the front door and asked if anybody was looking for some student help. And new building, not many employees, not many people that even knew what the word remote sensing was, which was their primary business. And so I got hired on the spot for a summer position and did it for several years until I graduated from school, and then launched into doing that forever.
So how many total years did you have at AROS?
I had 2 years as a student. And then I went to work there full-time in 1979, so about 40 years.
That's amazing, and congratulations on that. Anything challenging in those first couple years while you were interning or working as a student and also going to school at South Dakota State?
The hard part in any endeavor is establishing your credibility. And when you're a young punk from a small South Dakota university working with people from the University of California and Michigan and all of the big name schools, proving that jackrabbits have the right to be there with them was certainly an important credibility issue that I had to overcome. And you know, if you approach it with energy, hard work, and respect, you can overcome it. And you know, I guess I did well enough that when I was finally ready to move on to a permanent position, I was offered one.
Tom, what would you share with students around the state on just some advice that you'd give them about the future and what to look forward to, or how to attack it?
Well, you know, a variety of things. One is to you know, spark your imagination, and you know, I think you do that through conversation, reading, and just interaction with people. You know, there's very few good ideas that come up when you're just sitting in a chair by yourself. It's the conversations we have with each other. And so, you know, I think exploring with your friends, your parents, and you know, is an important way to help discover where your interests are. Beyond that, it really is the need to find your niche, focus on it, work harder than anybody else, and you know, take some hard knocks. You know, not every step you'll take is a success, but if you're persistent and you're focused, you're going to succeed.